Ladies with gentle hands and big buff men alike, welcome back to another video on the channel. Now you see, let me preface the video by saying this. Injustice is a grindy game. Grindy as hell, really. Especially when it comes to MP or multiplayer. So grindy. Especially if you want those top 1% finishes or those leaderboard finishes. You know, reaching a number 1 placement or a number 2 or a number 3 placement. If the hackers allow for it, of course, but I digress. Now you see, because of how grindy injustice can be, we must ask ourselves, what is the best way, the most efficient way for us to grind the game? What is the most efficient way for you to build your teams? And how strong should a team be? Like, should I have a team of 3 Elite 7s, 3 Elite 10s, 1 Elite 10 and 2 Elite 0s, 1 Elite 7 and 2 Elite 0s? What's the big deal? You gotta know and you gotta understand the big picture. And so that's what today's video is all about. Today's video, imagine, if you will, or remember, if you will, excuse me, the Scopos build. If you're a veteran player or have been around the last 5 or so years, you'll know what is the Scopos build. Today's video is going to be similar to that video, but with the new meta in mind. Now, before I start, if you have just no time for a silly little video and just want to know the meta and get to it, I will link below in the description everything that you need. Mainly, of course, the power brackets and the explanation made by u/Lythosyn on Reddit. And I have to give credit to him as well, because his findings and his research, along with the research from multiple other people, including, but not limited to, PlazmaScream, K-Real, Raziel 404, so on and so forth. Hell, even I did a little bit of help here, but not as much as these guys. All of their work, all of our work, if you want to put it like that as well, is the main inspiration behind this video. This video is a deep, in-depth explanation and explanatory guide for all players from all walks of life. From the humble beginner level 1 player who doesn't know anything to the aspiring player who's reaching level 99 who wants to understand how to play the game properly, to the grinder who has all his teams ready and who's this close, just a tiny smidge away from being a player on the leaderboard and reaching those number 1 finishes. Now, let's begin. To start, oh, sorry about that. My phone does that sometimes, excuse me. To start, what exactly does the game do to calculate how hard our ladders are? Now, you see, when we play multiplayer, we have multiple different battles. We have standard battle, epic battle, and ultimate battle. But to be the most efficient and the most meta, if you will, I'd suggest going and sticking with the epic battles, which are 5 matches. But how does the game calculate the teams that we face? Well, it does that by doing a little something known as linear scaling. Take any team, for example. The game will recognize that team, and you see, whenever it plays any battle, like an epic battle, for example, the first team that it will face will be weaker. Like, for example, I have a team here: Red Sun, Green Lantern, Batman Ninja, Catwoman, and Godfall Superman. No synergies, no nothing, but it doesn't matter. If I were to go into an epic battle, my first opponent will be slightly weaker or even more weaker than I am. And every match, I will have a raise it difficult slightly, one by one, like steps, until I reach the final match, where I reach my ceiling. I will reach a team that is even stronger than I am, slightly stronger, or sometimes even doubly stronger. But you see, that's the main idea of it all. But how does the game recognize and calculate all of this? Well, it does so by looking at something known as team power, total team power. The way you do this is a basic calculation, or if you want to calculate yourself, there are calculators from the Injustice Mobile subreddit. I will leave them in the description down below as well. The way you do this is simple. You take your strongest character, and you take their stats, you add them together, health and damage, multiply them by 60%. So for example, here I have Batman Ninja Catwoman. Out of the three, she's the strongest. Her stats added together times 60. Then you go with your second strongest character. For example, here I have Godful Superman. You take his combined stats times 30%. And then you add that to my weakest character. Your weakest character, or my weakest character here, is Red Sun Green Lantern. His combined stats now times 10%. The final value is your final team power. And so that is how it is. And the total team power as well also determines your battle rating. Which leads us to the next part. There are now something known as multiplayer power brackets. How much battle rating or elo or whatever you earn is based off of how strong your team is. And so now arises another question. What is the best range for my team to be built in? Sorry about that again. Now, back in the olden days of the scope of build, we wanted our teams to reach 5,000 battle rating per match. Meaning if we played an ultimate ladder, we'd reach a total of, I believe, 36,000 in our bonus, and if an epic battle, a bonus of 15,000 by the end. Now, all of that is swell, and I will tell you this: if you really, really like it, it's not a bad strategy to go with the Scopus build. I will not condone it. Don't get me wrong; it's sound advice. Building your teams to reach the maximum battle rating, and building quick teams to reach the maximum battle rating. However, this new meta tactic is better. You see, our teams in the new quote unquote meta, we want to build them so that they are able to reach on the final match 5,000 battle rate. And now on the first match, we want them to reach at least 4,500. Of course, there are lower battle ratings and lower power brackets. There are some teams that maybe start off with 4,000 battle rating and end up at 4,500 or 5,000. But your best bet is anywhere between a total team power of around 105,000 to 109,000. That is, of course, if you are going full grinding, full sending with high promoted carries and with correctly promoted supports and elite zero tanks. If you are a new player or a middle of the road player, I wouldn't really focus too much on this. If you really wanted to, then I'd suggest having anywhere between 3,600 to 4,000 battle rating on your fights. But I digress. Now, that's the first part, of course. But there are, of course, multiple variables. For example, what type of rotation are we talking about? An epic ladder rotation or an ultimate ladder rotation? Again, like I said, from my point of view and from the quote unquote meta point of view, you should go for an epic ladder rotation. There's nothing wrong with an ultimate ladder rotation. It's just epic ladders might be faster and whatnot. And of course, we're talking about speed and meta, but you play however you wish to play and however you want to play. Now, you also must take care of a few notes. Some carries or some characters have low stats, even if you augment them. I'd call these lightweight carries and they'd have lightweight teams. Their team power wouldn't reach the 109,000, for example. It'd go to 100,000, could reach 105, could even reach 95,000. While other carries have very high stats. And those would be heavyweights. And those carries need to keep them slightly under promoted. Instead of promoting them to, let's say, Elite 10, you should keep them at Elite 7 or at Elite 6 but with max damage augments. And so on and so forth. Now, if you are a player who's aspiring to be a leaderboard type of player, wanting to reach top 1% every season, or not even top 1%, reach the top leaderboards, then you must focus up on this next part. You must also plan a team rotation. Anywhere between 20 to 30 teams. The average Injustice player must use around 10 teams per is a way of being efficient. Instead of using one team and spamming recharges or buying recharges, using multiple teams is a much easier, much efficient way of grinding. Now, before we continue, you may say this is all theoretical. And where's the evidence behind any of this? Well, seeing is believing, of course, and I have proof. Now, what I'm about to show you all is a slideshow. It's a slideshow, basically, of different players using teams from the at the lowest, the 70,000, all the way up to the 105, 109,000 team power, for the power brackets, and they have lightning fast matches. They have epic ladders, 5 matches that finish in 2 minutes, 1 minute 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 1 minute, quick, lightning quick. I have censored out their online usernames because hackers like to take them and get them wrongfully banned. I will leave their names in the description with their socials. So let's. So to start, we have this beautiful looking Red Sun Superman team at 96,251 total team power. An epic battle took 2 minutes. And if you didn't understand, those transitional shots were between the first 4 battles with and the last battle. 96,000 team power, which makes him around 4,000 battle rating, or 3,600 battle rating, I think, per match. Very good team, very good setup. 10 out of 10, really. And look at how quickly that match finished. Now, moving on to a classic. Full Flashpoint trio. All of them are Elite 4, max damage, augmented, 102,935 total team power. And now, these guys have 2 minutes. 2 minute epic ladders with the Flashpoint trio. That is unheard of in this modern era. Especially with the way people build their Flashpoint teams as well. Over here we have a new wave Lucy Bane team with Gaslight Batman instead of Flashpoint Batman. This team is only 75,000 team power, but it is quick. 1 minute and I believe 30 seconds, maybe something like that. A very quick match, very quick ladder. Moving onwards, we have a Earth 2 Solomon Grundy team. I don't think Grundy here is fully maxed damage, he's like partially maxed damage. It's 101,582 total team power. Very good as well. He was like a 3 minute or a 2 minute ladder. Very good. Very quick as well. Arkham Origins Joker with 98,000 total team power. Same thing here. This Joker isn't fully max damage augmented. Elite 10 level 60. Very good setup here. And as you can see, a 2 minute epic ladder. And as you can also see, we have this team right here with Batman Ninja Batman, Reverse Flash, and Metahuman the Flash. Already 3 annoying cards, 2 of which are very difficult to fight against because of their passives. And look at this setup for Metahuman the Flash. Astro Harness prolongs fights. So for him to get a 2 minute ladder with these sorts of opponents is incredible. And again, in the same ladder, Raven Prime with the full Fourth World set. Wow, that's just something that slows down any sort of team. But not this team, and not with these promotions, and not with this team power. Now look at this beauty. Regime Storm, 107,548 team power. Very quick matches, very quick ladder. What, 2 minutes? Just incredible for an epic ladder. And again, this person is getting anywhere between 4,500 and 5,000 battle rating for this ladder. It's very quick. Moving on to Arrow Green Arrow. Arrow Green Arrow is one of the best special 2 carries in the game. He has an insanely strong special 2, and he has 104,160 total team power on this team, and a 2 minute epic ladder. I think you start to see the pattern here. Good to very good to almost the max battle rating with quick matches. And look at these opponents as well. Full Rebirth team. Rebirth Green Arrow starting with the Astro Harness and with the Quick Engine, prolonging the fight. But I digress. Now we have this beautiful looking Arkham Origins Deathstroke team. 112,000 team power. It is slightly above average because he is one of those, heavy hitters, like I mentioned at the start of the video, who have very high stats, or in this case, passives that lead to high stats. But still, just incredible. Incredible looking team here. This is, I believe, a 2 minute ladder maximum. I mean, just wow. Extremely quick. And he will be getting the full 5,000 here, but it's not important. But like I said, you see the pattern. teams that are quick and get you very high team power, or sorry, very high battle rating. And this is a full flashpoint team. Same deal. Elite 4, I think also max damage 102,000 as well. This is on iOS, might I add. Very sorry for the image crop. Now, the reason I show this is because iOS is slightly better than Android because of the loading screens. The iOS loading screens are instant, Android loading screens are faster, but still, either way, if you use with the correct power brackets, you will get quick matches. Moving onwards, we have another Lucy Bane team. Same thing with the last one. 87,000 because this one is max damage. Look at that. A 1 minute long epic ladder with Lucy Bane. Incredible. Incredible. Incredible, really. And of course, after seeing this, I think it's safe to say that lower team power teams and that 105, 109,000 are the best teams and the best power brackets to build for. It's because it's simple. Because you earn a good amount of battle rating, almost max battle rating sometimes. You have quick matches, quick battles, quick ladders, and easier grinding. There's nothing wrong, inherently, of course, with going for an old Scopus build team. And I'm not saying Scopus build is bad. No, it was incredible. It still is useful. It still is very good. But the times have changed and the meta has changed. And there's nothing inherently wrong with using balanced teams of Elite 7s and Elite 10s, but they just make the grinding experience harder. That's all I'm saying. The meta is defined as the most efficient tactics available. So having quicker teams and quicker grinding is the most efficient thing. This isn't like 100% meta. Like if you want to go for the raw meta, like I said, go on Reddit and I'll show you the guides. But I digress. Now, of course, you must also learn how to build your teams and which characters to use and what roles. I'm not the expert in that, but I will leave a description to PlazmaScream's video on that because he has a long video about that, talking about all characters and how to use them, how to gear them properly. But to give you the rundown, you want to use your carry, your tank, and your support. The roles are defined. Your carry, he carries your team. He's either a special 1 carry or a special 2 carry or a utility carry. A utility carry is a character who can do support functionality like shattering gears of the opponent, and also be a carry and kill the opponent, carry a team, and whatnot. Supports, they come in 2 varieties. Either they help with the gear shattering, or they support with their passive or with their specials in some way. And a tank just tanks the damage, really. Self-explanatory. You want to use carries who are fast. You want to use carries who have specials that can kill multiple people, for example, that don't have hits in the middle of the special that are weak and that activate astral harnesses. You want characters who can bypass the astral harness, bypass resurrections, bypass John Stewart shields, bypass all of that. That's of course if we're talking more of a special 2 carry. If we're talking more of a special 1 carry, if the one hit special ones are always pretty good, and you need also a good special 2, just in case you face a Blackest Night Flash team, or if you face a team with resurrections like with the Fourth World set. And that's about it, really. Your supports, make sure that they either A, like Batman characters, can shatter multiple gears on a special 1, or B, like the Flash characters, you know, they have multiple hits in their special 1, and with Enchantress, they can shatter multiple gears by 2 back-to-back specials. And your tank, they don't really matter. They just have to be someone who can tank. Doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter what their passive is. Just give them the tank gears and, say I'll say. And another important note for team building: never buy the health aligned support cards. Never buy these. These are going to ruin your team because they give high boosts. I think in total, all of these health support cards give around a 125% health boost. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. To your character, which is insane for your team building prospects. And also, to note, for your carries, make sure that once they're high enough promoted at like Elite 7 to anywhere between Elite 7 to Elite 10, of course, or Elite 6, depending on how high the stats are. But always make sure that they have less than 90,000 health. And I think that's almost about everything. I do have also one bit of evidence to show you why the health support cards are so terrible. It's I'm gonna show it to you, of course, after it finishes connecting. Give it a second. And before I show you that, I want to just give you the TLDR and the rundown about everything. So basically, the rundown is this: low powered teams, anywhere between 100,000 to 109,000 is the best and the most optimal range, especially from that 105 to 109,000 range. Low team powers gives you a good amount of battle rating and at the same time efficient grinding with quick matches. That's all really. And so here's this is an epic ladder. Sorry, let me just play the video. Yeah, this is an epic ladder. That entire team normally gets 100,000 team power, but because of the health support augments or health support cards, sorry, it gets such high team power. And as you saw, I had a team. This is my first match. I had a very strong team. Yeah, it finishes quickly, but they are really strong and annoying gears. Sorry, it's a bit chilly right now. And see, it's good. My first game. How long did my first game take? Let's see. And also there again is the long Android mirror screen, 12 seconds. Normally a game won't take that long. And look at this final matchup. Look at this. Look at that. Wow, just incredible, really. Just incredible. And just look at this match. This match right here. I'm gonna commentate over this because of how long it is. This game takes 3 minutes long. And look at this. So first of all, I have to do this because I'm gonna go ahead and shatter the Brandish Ninjato from Nightwing. And this of course shatters the gear. And now I have to wait because the Joker has the Quake engine. I tag out the Scorpion to tank a lot of the damage. I get hit a lot here. Scorpion is a good tank, so he just reflects over half of that damage back. And it's a waiting game. I have to keep waiting. I have to keep waiting. And I'm lucky here not to die with Scorpion. I'm very lucky not to die here. And yet again, it's the exact same thing. I have to wait. Yep, and I have to do a special one, shatter his gears, and go again. This wouldn't have happened if I didn't buy those health support cards. I would have gotten a way easier game. Would have finished this game by ages ago, really. And that's a very bad special tool placement for me. Very bad, terrible. Now I learn my mistakes when I block against the Batman Who Laughs now, because of the way his combo is. It's kind of bugged. And then it comes in, boom, boom, and boom, and then I think yes, I've killed Batman Who Laughs. I'm gonna have an easier fight, but no. This girl tags in, and oh my god, she's gonna ruin the day. She's gonna ruin my day, really. And so I pull off my special 2, and I'm like fighting to tag out, but it's not quick enough, and Static dies. So in comes Scorpion, who is actually a really good tank. That Scorpion is super underrated, man. I wish a lot of people knew about him more and used him more. And this is perfect. One shot, one kill from Zod here to finish off Nightwing. And so Scorpion, just through sheer willpower and tankiness, is able to kill off Catwoman. Now let's see how long that match took us to finish. Let's see. 1 minute 25 seconds. And look at that! I didn't even get 5,000 in all the matches, by the way. And would you look at that? Look at how 8-minute ladder, and all of that is just because of those health support cards. So that's why you don't buy them. Anyways, I hope you found this video informative, and I hope it helped you out. And I'd like to give a special shout out to a few people right here. Number one, of course, Scopos MG425. Without them, we would not have any of this information from the past, of course. Number two, from the modern times, and without them, we wouldn't have this information as well. U/Lythosyn,
and u slash PlazmaScream on Reddit. And then you also have 8 the King, Vertigo, K-Real, Raziel 404, LegitBoomy, Cool Gamer, all these people. Without them, we would not have I would not be able to make videos like this, and we would not have the modern justice that we have today.
Thank you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, please.
And I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.